Hello, this is a video about the SkyCentrics Dream Platform, Demand Response, Energy, and Asset Management, as it is used by utilities wanting to manage large platoons of CTA 2045 and other connected devices. First, a utility employee creates an account at SkyCentrics.com. This is what the resulting account looks like. Until he adds a device here, there's not much to see. However, he can go to his profile and make sure that his organization name is the utility name of his choice, and then he contacts SkyCentrics and asks SkyCentrics to designate this as a utility account. That means that on his next login, he will see a big green bar at the top of the screen indicating that he is logged in as a utility account. Now this utility ABC account has a lot of devices, and we'll review how these got here, but let's start elsewhere. One of the first things that Kevin Kilowatt, the owner of this account, might want to do is send an invite to other members of the utility to join this organization. So he enters their email, and you'll notice that he can give them different permissions. Right now this would be view only, but if he clicks on this and chooses all, he'll give them unlimited permissions. And he can send that invitation, and the utility member will receive a link that they can click on, and they can create an account at SkyCentrics and become a member of this organization. If you'd like to learn more about the permissions, please go to Admin View. You'll notice you can see the other accounts in your utility and your customer accounts that have signed up for the DR program. If you'd like to learn more about this admin view and how to run permissions, you can see this little pink video link, and you can click on our help videos. You'll notice that if you don't have speakers on your phone, you can click on this closed caption link and we'll show you the information in text rather than having to listen it on a phone. Now these help icons are also spread throughout our site, and you can click on them and see 1 to 2 minute videos of how to use the site. I'm now going to go back to standard view, and I'm going to describe a little bit about the tree on the left. First of all, if you have thousands of devices, you can use this to search for group names or device names and quickly find them. Also, these black, burgundy, and green colors are important. The black color indicates that Kevin Kilowatt, who is logged in, added the device or the group. The burgundy color indicates that someone else in the same utility organization added the group, so these could be devices in labs at the utility, for example. But the green color for customer devices are devices that are in your customer buildings and homes. Here we see them organized by substation, and you'll notice that they have building names or device names. If you'd like to add more groups, you can click on it and say it's a utility group. It'll be loaded in customer devices, and you can give it another name, such as Substation 4. And now, as easy as drag and drop, you can drag devices or customer buildings into that substation. Now, it's important that we understand the difference between green devices shading and white rows in this sheet. You'll notice that with the white row devices, I can turn them on and off right here and apply those changes indicated by a red triangle. But if I can also apply a master controller for every device in this category. But if none of those changes affected the green rows. If I click on the green rows, I can't change them. That's because they're customer devices, and the only way you can affect any controls on a customer device is to run a DR program through this DR admin tab. Now let's look at the Properties tab. You can click on this arrow and get more room on your screen. The Properties tab shows the account email of the owner of the device, the signal strength of the Wi-Fi, the firmware on our modules, and this show info is from the CTA 2045 specification. So for example, this PTAC unit is showing the firmware that it's a window AC unit and the vendor ID. And this is showing that it's a 50-gallon electric water heater tank from a different vendor ID. These are very useful in the CTA 2045 specification. All SkyCentrics devices can be upgraded over the internet for their firmware, and we are working with the device manufacturers to be able to do the same for their devices, which is important in the Internet of Things. Now let's go to the DR Admin tab and create an event. We'll be creating an event, call it test. We'll hit start. Current date plus 2 minutes is a quick way, but you can choose any calendar date or time. And then we're going to make it be a 5-minute event, and I'm going to make it be a shed event, and I'm going to send notifications. Notifications can be now, on the creation of the event, on start, and anywhere between 1 and 30 hours prior to the event. And you can click on as many of these notifications as you like, and then you can create the event. So it says that this event is currently a start time of 10:48, a 5-minute duration, an end time, and it's inactive. So let's see a little bit more about what's available on this page while we wait for the event to start. You can see that you still get data over the devices, and here it shows that the utility information is that there's no event, and the commodity information shows instantaneous electricity being consumed and the cumulative electricity being consumed. And then devices with storage capacity like this A.O. Smith water heater are unique in that they show present storage capacity, and we capture all that data and store it for analytics, as well as the electricity consumed at the current time and the cumulative electricity consumed. We can also graph all of this data. So here is a graph, and you can see that in this graph I have both the instantaneous load when the element comes on and the purple part showing storage capacity, and then we even show the operational state colors in a bar at the bottom, with dark green being running normal when the element is on, and light green meaning idle normal. And these operational state colors are described here. We also show the health of the heartbeats. All of our devices communicate every 60 seconds unless there's a change in status. So this is the last 12 hours. You can see that there's regular communications. It indicates the health of the connection and the Wi-Fi. And then these 10-second status updates that make for this wiggly graph is because there was changes in the power, and we report all changes every 10 seconds rather than the standard 60 seconds. So I can go back to the normal graph. I can zoom in, and you can see that an event was run earlier, so there's this color here indicating that an event was run. So I can go back to the DR admin now, and you can see that the event has started. It shows the event information, and most of the devices have gone into idle curtailed mode or running curtailed mode. So for example, this Clipper Creek EV charger, on its graph, we'll notice that when it runs into events, it basically reduces its power level from a high power level to a lower power level. Now let's go to the dashboard that we provide for utilities so they can keep track of all the devices that are online versus offline. Here is the category of devices, devices with storage capacity and devices with pre-cooling. And we show the op state, and you can see that 8 of them are in idle curtailed, 1 of them are in running curtailed, and we show all of the capacity and instantaneous power usage here for each device type, and then the aggregate of your entire platoon, and then we graph the aggregate, and here you can see on the right side the scale for all the power in your platoon being used, and on the left side the scale for all the storage capacity in green. If we go back to the DR admin, I can show you on our graphing that we have export of the data. So you can either choose to export the graph image that you see in front of you as a PNG figure, or the raw data, and the raw data comes down as a CSV file with the data every 1 minute. If you'd like more of our raw data, we can provide that in bulk as well. So now I'm going to go back to the DR admin tab. If people are getting notifications, they control them in this way. They go to their profile, They set up their contacts for email notifications and text notifications, and then they can even manage the notifications. You'll notice by default they're all turned on, but over time they may get comfortable with the DR program notifications and they can undo some of the notifications if they do not want to receive them. And here is that utility sign up button that exists here as well, where they can sign up to be a member of the DR programs in your utility. And the last thing is, during this event we can show you, because we have cameras on our devices. So this is an overview of some of the suite of devices that are available. There's a Siemens EV charger, an A.O. Smith water heater, and Island Air PTAC. We're going right now to take a look at the screen of a thermostat. So the thermostat is going to show that the event ends at 9:35 a.m. The offset was 58 degrees, and pretty soon up here it's going to indicate that there's a conservation event occurring. So all of that is available on the panel. There's also an A.O. Smith panel where it shows that it's grid enabled. So these are indicators from the appliances that they are participating in events. And that is the overview of the utility process on the SkyCentrics Dream platform. Thank you for your attention.